Hey, it's Kelly with RV Wholesalers. Today I'm going to do a walkthrough video on a North Trail 24 BHS by Heartland. This does have a nice single slide unit. It has the double over double bunks in the back with a nice outside kitchen here. You can see that. Power on in here. It's going to be a one switch on the inside. It does have the option still to tilt the awning if you want to be able to do that. If you come over here, you can look and see it just gives you kind of a little label here. If you just pull down on this, and that'll tilt the awning, so if you want to have the rain run off to one side or the other, you can do that. Also, you can, you don't have to run it all the way out. If you want to run it partial the way out, you can do that as well. Over here on this side, you're going to see you have the two outside speakers here. You're going to have the vent for your cooktop there. This is going to be the back of the refrigerator. You just want to make sure that this little hose is sticking out just a little bit. Auto defrost, so it might drip a little water from time to time. Now this is going to be the exhaust for your furnace. Anytime you kick your furnace on, it automatically ignites. Now if you're wondering if it's why it's not blowing hot air immediately, it has to take a little bit to warm up the ductwork, but if you come out here and wave your hand close to this, that's going to be blowing hot air immediately. Over here is going to be your freshwater fill. Basically what this is going to be is an onboard water tank. So if you're camping in a place that doesn't actually have water hookup at the site, what you're going to do is at the dump station or at your house before you leave, put a hose in here, let that fill up until the water starts pouring out. Once it pours out, you're full, and then you'll utilize your 12-volt pump to pressurize the system, pulls the water out of the fresh water tank and puts it into your taps, spigots, outside kitchen, things like that. You're going to have a receptacle here on the outside, and then right down here you're going to see two blue hoses and one red hose. The short blue one is the drain for your fresh water tank, so you can see that that one is vertical, so it is open. Drain that out. The other two, the longer blue one and the red one, are going to be the lowest points in your hot and cold water lines. Utilize that for winterization purposes. Over here you're going to have the wide track suspension, which makes it nicer. It's going to turn a little bit better, and if you hit a pothole, one wheel is going to be in the pothole while the other one's going still on the high pavement to give you a smoother ride. Has a friction entry door, so if you're wondering why that feels like it's a little hard to open and close, it's exactly how it's supposed to be, so that way the wind doesn't grab your door and slam it back and forth, anything like that. It does have the aluminum solid steps, so very, very secure. You're not going to have any give or anything like that. Those just lift up and then they just go closed, and these little latches here, and then you just use this to open it when you want to open it. Latches inside the door there. The legs are adjustable, so if you're on uneven terrain, you can adjust those longer, shorter, to make sure they're well balanced for you. This is obviously a fiberglass exterior coach, has the 2-inch thick sidewalls, foam block insulation, aluminum framing. You have a nice big pass-through storage here. They're all magnetic latches as well, so all you got to do is just push that up and it holds it for you. No little clips to break off, anything like that. Right inside this door here, you're going to see you have two white doors. So these are going to run your jacks. It has 4 power jacks all the way around. So one switch is for the front 2 jacks, the other switch is for the back 2 jacks. Now those are just for stabilizing the coach, so it doesn't rock around when you're on the inside. They're not for leveling the coach, changing tires, anything like that, just for stabilizing the coach. So once you run those down, sometimes you have to put a little bit of a block or board underneath to give it a little bit if it's uneven terrain as well. All LED lighting throughout, so you just push a button on the inside of the light, turns it on and off for you. Slam latch storage doors, has a nice fiberglass front cap here. So it has electric tongue jack on the front with a light here on the bottom. So to level the coach front to back, you're going to do that with your tongue jack. To level it side to side, you're going to pull up on like 2x6s, what have you. If you have the Lynx levelers, you can use those as well. Side to side level under the tires, front to back level with your tongue jack. It does have a little rubber grommet here on the top of the jack as well, so you can pull that out. It gives you a manual override. So it's going to come with 2 20-pound propane bottles, same size as on your barbecue at home most likely. Right here on the front, I don't know if you can see that, but there's a red eye there. That means that the gas bottles are empty. It'll be green or clear when you have propane in the tanks, okay? Now, what I always recommend is when you get to where you're going, open up both bottles all the way. So just open those up, and then you can see that this does move. So right now we're pulling from this tank. Now say if we had gas in both tanks, that eye would be either green or clear. It's gonna pull from this tank first. If this tank, say it runs out in the middle of the night, okay? Then what's gonna happen is it's gonna automatically switch over and pull from this tank. Then you come out the next day and you see that the eye is red. You know that this tank ran out, but you didn't actually lose gas because it's an auto change of regulator. All you're gonna do is switch over to this tank, and then you can close this bottle off, pull it off, go get it filled up. So essentially you'll just go back and forth, just rotating this as you go. 12-volt deep cycle battery there. Now the battery is going to trickle charge anytime you're plugged into your 30 amp connection and anytime you're hooked into your tow vehicle if you have it ran hot, okay? You can see here's the other side on your passenger storage. Another light inside there. They run the linoleum all the way through, finishes it off, gives it a nice look. The water heater here. First thing you're going to want to do after you have pulled it out for the first time for the first camping trip of the year, you're going to go ahead and pull this pressure release valve here. What that's going to do is it's going to allow the air to release once you turn on your water pump if you're running off your fresh, or if you're hooked to city water. When that goes to fill up, it's going to allow air to come out of here. Once the water starts pouring out of there, just shut that, then you can go ahead and fire it up, and I'll show you where the switch is on the inside. You can see your slide out here. It's cable driven. Get a good look here at the wide track suspension as well. Fully enclosed underbelly. You can see there's the motor for your stabilizer jacks. Come around here to the back side. It's going to have a 30 amp power cord. This will come with the coach. Now right on top of the power cord there, you're going to see a little green light. I don't know if you can see it in the sun today, but that's a good indication that you're getting actually power from the pole. Now if you have it plugged in, for whatever reason that light's not on, a lot of times the breaker will be tripped at the post, so you won't get any power to your coach. This is going to be the hookup for the cable on the outside. Over here is going to be your city water connection. So this would be if you go to a campground and they actually have water hookup at the site. All you're going to do is take your water hose, screw it into this. Always make sure you use a water pressure regulator to reduce the PSI down to about 45 PSI. So you can either screw that on here, which I like, or you can screw it on at the water source itself. Just make sure the water going into the camper is ran through the water pressure regulator. Now anytime you're running off of your city water connection, you don't have to use your pump, and you're not going to fill the water on the other side because you already have water coming in, it's already pressured. This one here is going to be your black tank flush. And I'll go over the sewer here real quick just to kind of give you an idea. And if you look right up here, you're going to see wastewater, which is going to be your black tank, which is your toilet, gray, which is the left valve, which is going to be your sinks and shower, okay? Pull them out to open them, push them in to close them. So when you're camping, obviously they'll be closed. So say you've went through a couple days worth of camping, you filled up your black and gray, and you're leaving now and you want to dump your water tank. So all you're going to do, hook your sewer hose onto this, run the other end down into the sewer hole, and the first thing you want to do is pull your black valve, okay? So you're going to pull the black valve, let it run through. That's going to clean out your toilet. You'll be able to tell when it's emptied out. Once that's ran through for maybe a couple minutes or so, emptied out your black tank, then you're going to take your water hose and screw it on to the black tank flush, which is here. Turn the water on, let that run for a couple more minutes. What that's going to do is it's going to spray inside the tank. It's going to clean off the debris off of the sensors, and it's going to flush the rest of it through your hose. Then shut the water off, okay? After the water's shut off, then close your black valve, then pull your gray. And what that's going to do is it's going to finish rinsing out your sewer hose for you. Then you're done there. Outside shower here, hot and cold. The sprayer you can pull out, just like the inside. Spray off the dog, kids, what have you. Then you can store your sewer hose right in the bumper. Full size spare here. It is prepped for a backup camera up top. Now this rack right here, you can pull it down, utilize it as a bike rack, put a cooler on here, wood, what have you. You're more than welcome to do that. A little more storage in the back there as well. If you come over here to this side, you're going to see you do have the outside kitchen. Does have a sink here, hot and cold. Does have a little dorm fridge, which is going to run off just 110, and you have a two burner cooktop here, and that's what this quick connect gas line is going to be for. If you look right down there where you see that other little piece of paper, that's going to be your quick connect gas line, and that will run right off the existing propane bottles on the front of the coach. We can go inside here and we'll take a look around. All right, so if you look right out here at the awning, and the switch for that's going to be right inside the door here. So this is going to be for your slide out. You just hold the button down to run the slide out in, hold the button down to run it out. To run the awning in, just hold it down to retract it, and you can see it's coming in here. And again, I can let my finger off, stop wherever I'd like. Now when you're running it out, if you're looking here, as soon as you start to see the black tube, then you want to let off because you don't want to overextend the awning, okay? So we'll go ahead and run that in here. And you'll hear it hit the side of the trailer just slightly, and then you know it's time to let off, or you can watch it come all the way in, either way. And that will run just off of 12 volt as well, so for whatever reason, if you lose power at the campground, that will run off of your battery as well. Same way with your slide out, it'll run off your battery as well. All right, so coming inside here, you can see you do have the solid surface countertops. You have the nice high-rise residential faucet. You're gonna have the 3-burner cooktop. The first thing you're gonna wanna do when you get into your coach after you've turned your propane bottles on, come here to your stove, turn all 3 burners on high, turn your sparker knob, let those all light up. Let those burn for about 30 seconds. What that's going to do is purge your gas line so you get all the air pockets out of the lines. Then everything that's going to run on gas will function properly. Anytime you're burning your cooktop, always make sure your exhaust fan is on. Pull that hot air out of the coach. Microwave here works just like at home. The oven, you want to make sure to light your oven. You'll turn this over to pilot, push and hold, take a stick lighter, put it on the pilot there, light it up, let off, then you can adjust your degrees. Refrigerator freezer, so to power it on, all you're going to do is hit the on button there. Auto, what that is going to search for electric first. If it can't find electric, meaning 110, it'll automatically switch over to gas. Now if you know you're going to be running on gas, just go ahead and pop that button out and run it on gas. It automatically ignites for you, the whole 9 yards. So anytime you're traveling and you got to run it on gas, you're definitely going to want to do that. Thermostat here, which runs your AC and your furnace. AC is going to be ducted through the ceiling. Heat is going to be ducted around your floors, okay? And it works just like your one at home well, just set the temperatures and it'll turn on and off. So if I turn the temperature way up, the air will kick off, turn it down. Once it signals, it'll turn it back on. Double over double bunks here. LED lighting up there as well. You're going to have the cloth shades there. Does have a little curtain that goes across here. Okay, so the vent in here in the bathroom, all you're gonna do is pull down on this to open and close it. I had that on, kind of pull some of the heat out of the coach. And the switch right here on the wall, one for the light, one for the fan. Go ahead and close that, lock it, skylight over the tub. Now right inside here, you're gonna see you have the monitor panel. So just hold these buttons down so you can see the battery's fully charged. Fresh is empty, gray and black are both empty. Water pumps here, it is an on-demand pump, so if you're running off your fresh water tank, so if they don't have water hookup at the site, you just turn the pump on, leave it on, because whenever you turn your faucet on, the pump will automatically kick on. Shut the water off, pump will kick off. Then there's also 2 switches for the water heater. So this one's going to be for electric, this one's going to be for gas. Always make sure it's filled up with water before you light it. If you want to run them both at the same time, you can do that to kind of get hot water faster. Typically people will run off one or the other. You're going to have a GFI receptacle here. Now they are ran in series, so if you plug into another outlet and it's not working, make sure this isn't tripped. Porcelain foot flush toilet right here. Little lever down on the bottom side. If you push it down about 1/4 to 1/2 inch, it's just going to release some water. push it down all the way, it's going to move the flap over and flush it. You always want to leave a little bit of water in there to keep that black seal nice and pliable. All right, right here you're going to see you do have a central vac in the coach. We're going to just flip that switch there, and then there's a hose underneath the bed that you can put in here and sweep up the coach. Now right behind here you're going to see these have a bunch of holes in it. That's just the converter is in behind here, which converts 110 down to 12 volt, because most of the stuff in this coach is going to be 12 volts. So when you're plugged in, you're going to hear that little fan blowing, and that's completely normal. It keeps your converter cool so it doesn't overheat. Now your 110 breakers are here, 12 volt fuses are here, they're labeled here. And the 240 amp are for your converter. LP detector here. You have a U-shaped dinette here in the slide out. Now this will come out. All you do is lift up on the tabletop, pull the pulls, and then you can remove the cushions and make it into a bed. There's a little platform that'll go right across there so you can use it as a bed. Windows here, cloth shades, TV, AM, FM, CD down there. Now the AC, it does have two little flaps here, so you can see we opened those. Now all the air is essentially pulling right out of here. So when you first get into the coach and it's really, really hot in here, open those up to cool down this big area first. Then you can shut it and then it'll shoot it out the ductwork. You can see in here in the bedroom, two hard doors. You're going to unhook those in the center. Just make sure it's hooked while traveling. That way it's not slamming back and forth. And then you also have storage under the bed here. Show you that. So there's going to be, that's the piece that hooks to the dinette. That way you can lay the cushions over top. This big steel piece here is for the rack on the back. And then you have your hoses there for your central vac. You have nightstands on both sides of the bed here. His and her reading lights switch right in the center. You can see that there. Plenty of storage all the way through. More storage here, you can see that. Very, very nice coach, very, very well built. Thought out outside kitchen, double over double bunk, nice little slide out, lightweight coach, front cap. Very, very nice coach. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to give us a call, 877-877-4494. Have a great day.